Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, let us start technical sessions. AI, artificial intelligence is a big buzzword. We all know very well about the artificial intelligence, and we are witnessing in our day-to-day life that technology and the associated features in all our life, day to day, daily. But we all also know what is AI. But what I mean here it is, my topic here it is, of course, generative AI in OTT platform. Of course, it's terminology wise, it's a little bit confusing. Rather, it is a very generic word. But if you see here, lot of very important technical fields are involved in this one. First important is AI. Dan tarvata generative AI. OTT is again next important terminology here. So OTT again comes under broadcast. So everything is revolving around broadcasting in this topic. So the influence of AI, features of AI, experiences of AI, how we are presently it is going on, how future it's going to be with reference to broadcasting. Exclusively in OTT, we are just going to highlight those things. Of course, most of might have witnessed all this data in your day-to-day subjects. So I have taken so much information from public domain only, but basic is understanding the broadcast field, how it is associated with broadcast field is basic understandings we need to know. So okay, this is a big word, artificial intelligence. So again, there is a term called intelligence in this one, and again artificial. So it's basically we are mapping our intelligence through any computer systems or any other whatever system, whatever you name. We are mapping our intelligence, our other human intelligence into a computerized system. This everybody knows this one. It's not big definition, but as here it is mentioned is that AI is the simulation of human intelligence by machines, especially computer systems. Simple understanding. How you simulate is the big thing here. So simulation of human intelligence in machines programmed to think, learn and make decisions. So why I am again, even though it is repetitive nature for some students, I am just giving you some brief about the AI so that before going to my real subject on broadcast topics, these things are needs to be correlated, required to be related to that features. So I mean to say here also, AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines programmed to think, learn and make decisions. This small thing, 3 words, main components of AI. Everybody knows this. Main components are these 3 only. Learning, first point is learning. A very important is this one. First, foremost point. Just before my friend Mr. Subbarao sir told me, he is unable to reach here. So that, that Google Map has not trained. not learned properly. So that's why yes. So what I meant to say that data learning, data acquisition, rather data is very important. First step of whole AI is data. How robust is your data? How permutation combination is data, which gives real result in AI. So object of AI can be achievable through data only. So everywhere, every nice. So first part of all AI is again learning, data acquisition and pattern recognition. So how this patterns have been evolved in a particular scenario. So learning is the first point. That's very important. Reasoning. Again, all these are been, all these terms and other components have been evolved a bit based on our intelligence parameters only. So we also learn from something we might have learned. That those things we adopted now automatically. So similar way. So all parameters have been taken from our human intelligence only. So reasoning again, we used to think based on our experience, based on our this thing. So decision making and problem solving is the capability of a human reasoning. Similar parameters also been highlighted in our AI components. Next, self-correction. So correcting again and again. I mean, with these learnings, with these experiences, the correcting and this. So similar parameters, if you apply into our computerized system also, it is as good as AI. So same set of, same set of components. Okay, I'm just. So again, major components, as I told you, learning and reasoning and problem solving are the basic our human intelligence. Those have been added with the perception and language understanding. I am speaking in English, sometimes I speak in Telugu, you people may speak in other language. So language issues and perception, how you perceive any problem, how you perceive the scenario. Accordingly, the artificial intelligence will develop all those parameters only. So that means the basic learning and reasoning and problem solving added with this perception and language understanding, all these components can build up in a AI system. So AI system can be interrelated with any of the industries or any of the present day fields. So but basic components happens to be these only. So first we have to learn, which is through data set. So sometimes AI is very much successful with data learning only. So first step, so data, big data availability only gives you success in AI. So these components are the main components. So before going in depth, so you people in your academic sessions, learning some types of algorithms, pattern recognition techniques, so many things might have been covered in your subjects. So those things only I'm just touching so that we can go to our topics next. So we already know this is again important point. Okay, so we are witnessed already so many things. So here I'm just categorized. Of course, again it's available in public domain. Narrow AI, general AI, super AI. Super AI is not but main is narrow AI. Already witnessed we people. It's similarly, it won't give any, it will perform certain simple tasks. It's just trying to perform some set of tasks. That's all. So narrow, sometimes it might not be having memory also. Sometimes it having some small memories. So AI systems is like, perform a simple task or specially designed for specialized tasks, very narrowly developed. Dynamically adaptable नहीं है. It's not dynamically adapted. Simply performing simple tasks or specialized task like dedicated by our this thing comes under the category narrow AI. So you know that you might have witnessed Siri, Alexa, all those things comes under these category. Okay, so that means it is being designed to do certain tasks only, not mega tasks. General AI has now emerged. After COVID, this has become very, very popular and became so much sophisticated. AI technologies, workflows have been taken care. So machines that can perform any intellectual task like humans. So this has already became very popular since last 2 to 3 years. After COVID, it became huge success in these areas. Even nowadays all our startup companies, around 80% of startup companies are working on AI. So you may witness job spectrum, job orientation in those startups in future. But main their agenda is to develop AI. Define particularly task, intellectual task, and adopt all those data learnings, and accordingly you will get you can perform intellectual task like humans using theoretically. Why I call it is a theoretically means it is a 100% perfection is a issue again. There is some set of accuracy might not be 100%. Some up to some extent it can be adaptable. Like mathematical problems, sometimes it is 100% meaningful conversion. Conversing with computers, sometimes all those things comes under general AI. Nowadays we are witnessing so many applications in general AI only. Again, next is super AI, which is not, as of now, it is not beyond our thinking, beyond our complexity of human. Certain things can be easily performable using this super AI. Let us bit mega scale. So machines surpassing human intelligence are also going to come in future. Concepts are going to be this in this area. Enormous work is going on. Within 2 years you are going to witness so much developments in this area. So based on capacity, AI can be categorized into capacity of computer system, or this thing we can categorize based on functionality. This is again very important. This is the where based on functionality also AI can be categorized into many types. This is IBM's Deep Blue, one of the major AI oriented system they have developed. So what it means, without any memory, it will perform some type of AI system works, tasks rather. So that is called reactive machines. And limited memory case, with limited memory we used to take some decisions. This is a very self-driving cars. So I think most probably you might have already studied or might have witnessed. So we used to have, nowadays cars are having with intelligence mechanism, which is backbone is again with this type of memory. So it gives some object is clear. Object is clear, that means from A to B it has to go with all type of intelligent and dynamically corrected mechanism, dynamically corrected orientation it has to perform. So limited memory things are there. Theory of mind, based on our emotions, it's a very tough task, very task. Based on our emotions, our AI system has to adapt, AI has to perform tasks. If you are sorrow today, it has to perform in a different way. If it is, if it is happy mood, it has to perform in another way. But in AI, as of now, it's not achieved so far. It is going to come again within 2 years. Understanding emotions, accordingly to AI system developing or AI system merging is going to come. Again, next is self-aware. I mean, the AA system itself requires to train as and when required, as and when corrections are mandated, as and when. You see, let's take example after COVID. So many protocols have been adopted. We used to wear masks, all those things. So system also required to adopt those changes automatically. So this is also going to come in future in this matter. So I mean to say finally, types of AA have been categorized based on the capacity of the computerized scaling of the computerized system, and are based on the memory or machines wise this thing. Okay, again, and it might be repeated. So basic, again, two components going to be there in our AA: machine learning, deep learning. Okay, machine learning, it might be, machine learning is again same thing, training algorithm to learn from data. Machine learning uses algorithm to analyze data and learn patterns without explicitly programming. So without any big programs, small things can be small things can be implementable using these machine learnings. So in our broadcasting features, how this machine, I just given definition, this is going to be used in our broadcasting, this thing more. Machine learning we are using extensively. So that's why I just highlighted the definition so that you can understand when my regarding features which comes in broadcasting domain. So again some okay, deep learning. This is again deep learning. Deep learning is subset as machine learning. Of course, it is a subset, but it is actually, it's a complex pattern, has based on complex pattern it is been developed, and learning has been done based on complex patterns. So patterns have been this. So basically it will neuron orientation things, neural networks. You might have having subject in this one. Even when I studied in IIT, when I studied it in very long before, that time I had neural network. I never expected the application of neural network that time. My professor told me that one you will get very good exposure if you study this one. I never got that exposure, I only got marks only. But I mean to say, as now the core point is neurons. How complexity of the neurons are there, and how patterns can be generatable. All those things are been revolving around these neurons only. So next machine learning. Okay, next deep learning. Okay, fine. This is the now NLP. You might have already natural language processing. So our language skills. This is again, our broadcast is the one of the biggest tool, biggest technique we are using. Okay, what I mean to say, natural language processing allows computers to understand, interpret and generate human language, enabling communication with machines using natural language. That means if I speak in Hindi, simple things, you can translate in Telugu, or you can translate in another language. All those things, all those stuff can be adaptable using this technique. So we are using this technique extensively in our day-to-day professional field. So machine translation, text summarization, sentiment analysis and chatbot development. First, particularly machine translation is the biggest tool we are using nowadays. Of course, you people might have witnessed in films also. If you observe any film in, if you watch any film in this thing, you can also watch that same film in another language also. Is it not? You might have witnessed. Sometimes Korean movie we can watch in Telugu. So provided that might have given or that process everything. As of now, as of now, I mean to say that as of now, all those films you are watching in another language means already that language version was incorporated in that film. That's why we are able to do. But our case, in our AI scenario, we are expecting to do automatically. We are expecting to do immediately. So whereas the films which you are watching, this means we used to dub all languages, we used to incorporate it in the all languages in the film, so that you can select your choose any language. The same language can be watched, or same language can be adaptably you can see that one. But here, what I mean to say here, natural language processing is nowadays became very popular. As soon as you speak in Telugu, it will automatically, instantaneously, it will translate into some other language, whichever it is. This thing, this feature has already came. Next, text summarization. This is the very important. Text summarization means the language-oriented text summarization. If you chart GPT, all those things are do, but language, do chart GPT in Telugu, that's difficult. Again, that's been emerging now. So how language-oriented text summarization can be adaptable? These things are natural. So natural language processing is being used extensively in our present day AI developments. So present day developments, this is a very big tool as the industry is using. As a broadcast industry, we are extensively using this thing. And again, sentiment analysis also been done using natural. So the simulating our sentiments, simulating our human sentiments using these techniques is things. So why I just recollecting or just highlighting all those things means how can be related these techniques in our work experience, work field. Okay, this is an important field. Next, again, computer vision. This is the one more technique, very, very extensively using. First point is image recognition enables machine to see and interpret images, identifying objects, scenes and patterns. Means if you see, it's again robotic or whatever I mean to say, see, identifying object within image. So we have so many images here. Sometimes it's having so much data of image, which is comprises of so much data. You want to extract particular image object, just like in this is image to video. It is essentially using in sports broadcasting. In sports broadcasting, last morning, sir told that sports broadcasting, the ball where it is going, we need to track that ball. We need to identify that ball. So this technique in computer vision, through computer vision, these identifying object scenes and patterns are being achieved. So computer vision technique has been extensively used. This thing. Even I think recently I studied one article. In somewhere in a beach somewhere, they have kept one camera, 2-3 cameras. They have analyzed whom are going inside to ocean. Samudranloki evaru veltunnaru, all those things they are catching, and they are monitoring those things. So according to the dangerous situation, they are giving alerts. This system already adopted somewhere. Just recently I studied that one. The same thing is also observed in defense. Very extensively this technique is, because all these images captured by satellite has been analyzed, and it has been through AI. Those alerts have been sent to the defense security system to protect their boundary environment. So this image recognition automatically doing all those things. Using satellite images is very extensively, as of now, defense system is using. So this is the one technique which comes under computer vision. And coming to object detection, it goes beyond image recognition, but a little bit, little bit more tough objects, more dynamic objects, more complexity of objects. If you want to object detection is also applicable this thing. So finally, applications, if you see in the computer vision, as a now security system, as I told, this security system is been used this computer vision. So self-driving cars, we already told that we used to keep our cameras. The camera with sensors gives the drive, AI engine will give you the all data. According the complete driving system can be done using computer vision technique. So this is the technique which is being used in our day-to-day thing. Again, robotics. Robotics is the only area where some types, mechanical as well as artificial both combined together is involved. So AI and physical machine for automation, but robotics se zyada very important is robotics se zyada drones. It's also part of a robotic. Drones are becoming very popular, very popular with artificial intelligence. Again, I am telling you, as of now, drones are with the specialized task only. Now, how we can adopt, how can we train them automatically using AI engine is next target. We are already so many experiments has been already done. According to the AI engine, according to the requirement, the situation has been adapted, and AI engine has been extensively used in robots as well, drones and all those things. So again, last one, expert system is again a type of simple rule based. Yeah, all those things. Some students might be having AI in their academic this thing. All those things are this thing already covered in your system. So some rules based systems. It's very medical diagnosis. Troubleshooting. This is some prototype systems where AI engines have been used. So again, now if you coming to types is over, now coming to infrastructure. What are the requirement in our AI infrastructure? Basically, AI infrastructure mein what undala asla. Undala ane first hardware, next software, then very important is the hardware, software and networking resources to support the development, training and deployment of AI models. So training is the one of the important this thing. So if you want to have the robust AI, you have to have handling of large data sets is important. So next important is fast processing speeds and scalability, and you need to upgrade as one if you keep in a some up to certain capacity, it needs to be scalable automatically. So that type of models. So why, again I am telling you, it might be repetitive for some of the students, but I am talking this one. These are all the models we are doing, using in our broadcast field. That's why I am talking all those things. So scalability, all those things we are extensively using. So again, data collection and management, I told already, it happens to be the biggest requirement in AI field. System for collecting, storing the data and pre-processing data for AI models are importantly required. So whenever anybody wants to put any AI engine, they have to take care of this one first. That means storing data, enhancing data. So we used to keep big servers, big data banks, warehouses for data. We used those things. We used to keep exclusively for data management. Big data then. So this is the area where unless you don't have the data management, unless you don't give the infrastructure attention to this area, your AI is not going to be successful. So this is a very important for, keeping servers, keeping network, all those things. For this one, attention to this one is important. Okay. Next is computational resources. Everyone knows our CPU, we know. GPU, you might have heard. Anybody heard about GPU? Anybody heard? Can you raise? GPU? So GPU is, again, new TPU is also available. So what I mean to say, there are components other than our conventional computer peripherals. CPU, central processing unit. GPU is graphical processing unit. TPU, I forgot. TPUs been Google oriented. They have developed particularly to perform high-end tasks, only dedicated for that task. So the entire loading of that algorithms have been loaded into these TPUs. It's nowadays GPU only. It's a patent rights to Google. So hardware's GPU is graphics program. So sometimes you people also doing in your mobile. We used to do edit this thing. We used to create some reels, all those things. Okay. The mobile does something up to some extent. If you want to do extensively, whatever you do, some editing or something gets happen. But behind something has to done certain transactions, certain renderings, all those things. So sometimes your CPU may not address those issues. That means you see in your editing any reel, if you see after editing, if you want to do, you just submit, then it does everything. It just finishes that your product. You finish your reel. But if GPU is there, so automatically background lo mottam work ayipoyi meek front foreground lone meek kanpadutuntundi. So this GPU based system is there in all our broadcast system. Without GPU, we don't go ahead. 80% works goes to GPU, 20% goes to CPU. So this is GPU requirement is very essential in hardware. TPU, again, I told you, specialized tasks. This TPUs mean this thing. Now, very important parameter is cloud computing. Anybody heard about cloud computing? Cloud, have anybody heard? Heard? Very nice. So cloud, what is cloud? So again, cloud computing is nothing new. Nothing new. It's just computing in your desktop similar model only, but it is somewhere else. It is somewhere else. Let's take in one big server or one big infrastructure of computer system is placed in your college. Let's take example. They have that computer got connected with internet. The person who is sitting at home can access that infrastructure, not data. That infrastructure effectively if you use at your home also. This is also as good as cloud. That means the cloud computer means the major activities of all your tasks can be done here. Only end point only gives some certain data or some acknowledgements. All performance, all tasks being done at this level only. So that means cloud is nothing but a very good interactivity, very good interface within networking, kept in a remote location. It can cater all these things, all location, I mean it can cater all type of interfaces. Also it can migrate as and when required, and also it can perform all your tasks behalf of you in cloud. That's the cloud computing. So this is very important required in AI workloads. So all are going to clouds. Nothing but a type of a data centers, high-end data centers, keeping and somewhere you can get access of those things as if those are with you. So మీ కంప్యూటర్లో ఉన్నట్టుగానే ఎక్కడో ఉన్న రిసోర్సెస్ మీకు అందుతాయి. If you want to perform this, you just post your code in that one. It will do every compiling and all those things. Give results to here as if everything is done in your computer. So that's the cloud computer. It's must in our AI interface. Next again, as I told, storage systems are, I told, data lakes. We call it as a data lakes, data warehouses. We are using these data oriented system, and all big shots, big AI field oriented companies are using warehouses to optimum their AI engines. Networking, again, without networking the cloud cannot work. So efficient networking protocol for fast data between system and devices, system or devices ke beech networking efficiency is very important. So we need to know those things. So AI is not only doing learning, software everything. These I am talking about the hardware point of view. So again, industry-wise, just I will quickly go through this one. Healthcare, IBM Watson happens to be pioneer in this one. They have diseases, they can detect cancer, all those things using power diagnosis. Personalized medicines and drug discovery, all those things can be done in healthcare industry. This is not already very India also doing very challenging development in healthcare, and some came up with some prototype models. Of course accuracy issues are there, they are still learning, because data availability in this regard is very tough. AI success depends on, as I told, it's a begin on data. And second important means organized data. If you have, you will get more results. Again, second important point is organized data. That's why banking got very, AI implemented banking first. Why? Because banking, banking structure has organized data. Even before computer also, they used to keep all records in a ledgers in a systematic way. So that's why adopting that data into AI became very easy. So that's why all those device driven computer systems have emerged. Now all those data retrieving, all those verification, security has become through AI. They adopted already. Financial calculations, all those things, now they adopted AI machines through them, because they have enough very good data organizing means. So data ఉండడం ఎంత ముఖ్యం, దాన్ని ఆర్గనైజ్డ్గా ఉంటే త్వరగా AI సక్సెస్ అవుతుంది. So now we are facing problem in a medical field, health field, data organizing. So now people are concentrating on the data. That's why nowadays if you go any medical or hospital, nowadays they are scanning. But they are scanning as an image. They are not scanning as a data. Data is not preserved as it is. So now they are keeping other methods to keep that one is also as a organized data. And nowadays they are already adopted some AI tools also to retrieve certain data into healthcare systems. So this is very extensively using in healthcare, and maybe we are going to witness very extensive tools in this area. So some hospitals are already adopted, particularly in Mumbai. I was told some hospital adopted these tools. Finance, again I told you, bank system, and of course nowadays fraud detection is a big requirement, became big requirement, and all our security oriented system, all these policy implementation systems, they are more concentrating on fraud detection, which is a little bit became complexity. By the time AI is trained, by the time AI is detecting fraud, new fraud is generating. Okay, in new manner they are creating. So their creation, rather their innovation is more human. So human intelligence is also equally training in that manner. So what I mean to say, fraud detection is also big challenge to every government. So credit score is again it's a numerical parameters. It's getting is automatically how it is getting nowadays. Credit scoring being associated with centralizedly, and it has been given to all type of mechanisms. All those things are involved in finance one. E-commerce again, this is again Amazon, all those things they are using AI to suggest now, as and now, this again I am talking, this engine, Amazon, if you see frequently, it will suggest you whatever you seen. That's the basic recommendation engines have been developed using AI. They will give you recommendation as per your interest. If you see your mobile frequently, they will give you mobile products only. Like that, recommendation engines are there. So these are based on AI data learning, and they have adapted accordingly. Yeah, this is the where transportation where very extensive work is going on. Even driverless cars have launched. But some failures are also there. Recently some failure was there. So autonomous vehicles, companies like Tesla use AI for self-driving cars to navigate roads and avoid obstacles. So you see that it has so many sensors, it has computer vision technique, and it automatically takes you to the takes you to the destination. Again, traffic management is also in urban areas now. AI is going to be utilized in traffic signals also. There are already some projects are going on this one. So predictive maintenance also going on. So this means transportation is the AI in failures of equipment, maintenance of equipment, all those can also be achievable using this one. Now my point, I think next. Again, manufacturing I already discussed. Next we'll go. Yeah, this is a very important point which we are going to face, energy distribution. Based on nowadays now we used to have the fixed demand, fixed distribution system. AI is going to give us optimized demand, optimized energy distribution based on requirement. So renewal of energy and optimization, everything, and your billing will become, and future solar integration with AI billing cycle, with getting credit to solar energy, all those things have been involved with AI. So power sector also actively involved to even government of India also very much giving promotion towards the solar utilization and AI implementation to get further bill. So in Gujarat they have adopted so many villages into a AI, not AI, they have given already solar oriented bills are already generated, and they are getting money back also. Okay, coming next. Hey, education, you know very well, better than me. So virtual tours are, teaching. So they are giving, dynamically, their digitalized manner of teaching and personalized learning, and all those things also came up. And only some set of tasks have been given. Now they have to they are converting into AI system, so that examinations and answering, assessing, all those things also going to come with education. Next. Finally, this is our topic, entertainment. Okay, entertainment is again whatever we are witnessing through mobile or TV, of course gaming also. Nowadays gaming also, చాలా మంది gaming ఆడుతూ ఉండొచ్చు. But what I mean to say here is, AI tools are very much important to generate music, art and videos, expanding creative possibilities. That means AI automatically generate music. This is a tool which is already available. That I will explain when generic. Okay, interactive gaming. That's of course you people knowing interactive gaming, augmented reality ke through. Interactive gaming is already came. And you sitting at in front of computer, you can play a game as if you are with that game, with that this thing very much with reality, augmented reality ke sath. This is very extensively it is developed in foreign countries. Already they are using all this thing extensively. Here also we have so many stations and engines in this one. And it's been fine-tuning such that one is going to be in mega level in gaming industry in future using AI. Interactive gaming is going to be experienced within no time. We are going to experience this one. Already 80% is already over. Again, audience analytics also coming up nowadays using strategies. Okay, coming. Okay, agriculture using robots and this thing. Next. Okay, I told that one defense system are using extensively these image recognitions of through AI. Immediately they are predicting security breaches and any border sensitive issues. Easily detecting nowadays. We are launching some satellites to cater these issues, which has been integrated with AI so that we can get real results. So now next is generative. So we have so much things we discussed about AI. Generative AI. Anybody can guess? Any guess? What is generative AI? Any guess? Come again. I'm not. Okay, generative AI. Now, so far, tasks have been performed, or some things we are whatever visualizing, it's going to be done using difficult task, difficult, decision making patterns, all those things we have done in AI. Whereas in generative AI, beyond that one, that means any innovative idea which you want to have in your mind, or innovative character if you want to generate, or innovative image you want to generate. So that means AI system designated to produce text, images, audio, videos and more, mimicking human creativity. Our human creativity we are thinking, but we are unable to create. If you can think one big character, you can think, you cannot create in real life, but you can create in visualization. So that visualization can be converted into real character in computer, so that it generative AI. In a simple sense I am telling. So that means here points are text, produce text, images, audio and video. So these all tools we are using in our broadcasting sector. These all tools. So producing text and images, automatically innovative images, audio, sometimes I can speak, your voice can be, make it, or some alien's voice if you want to create, it can be possible to create audio of that one. You can create music, you can create, voice of anybody. So that's why recently Ram Gopal Verma has given one interview. He has just openly challenged, in future I don't want to take any musician, I will do everything through AI. He just given in one interview. So he doesn't want to do anything, he want to waste time with their musicians, or doesn't want to waste with their singers. So he want to give his idea, I want theme song, I want this song, then it will generate audio for you. So okay, so AI system designated to produce text, images, audio, videos and more. Generative AI redefines how content is created and consumed, how content, visualization of content, how it has been created, how it has been consumed is generative AI talks. This is popular as of now. This is very much popular as of now. China is going like anything. They are just, you just type, I want to eat noodles, type with Ramana. So Ramana is going to be created with eating noodles. Okay, so that type of all generative AI talks all these things. Tools revolving around this thing, it talks all these things. Next. So again, I just given some examples in generative AI. Again, GPT. Nowadays, of course, GPT-4, everything is, it's giving text. Am I right? So giving text. So a powerful language model capable of generating human quality text. Whatever we think in terms of text, it is getting generated. So it's translating languages and writing different kind of creative content. I want to make one story. So I can say theme, you can just type, it gives you so many things. So I mean to say so much training, after so much training in linguistic language oriented thing, then it gives you certain type of results. So that means generative pre-training transformer is nothing but GPT, that you know very well. Next important is BRT, also very available tool. Contest of words, making it ideal for tasks like question and answering. So you just give question, it gives answer. So Siri or Alexa might have trained with reference to certain tasks, but you want to talk with some robot, or you want to talk with some device, it has to be trained or it has to be given. So this they have developed is again Google bidirectional encoder representation from transformers. This is also available tool. It is also analyzing sentiments of humans. It's a very good tool available as of now. Lambda language model for dialogue applications. Dialogue. If I talk this thing, it can be converted into Modi's dialogue. It can also be done. So these applications are available as of now. These are, I am talking all these available examples right, as of now. It's not already adopted by. Next. Please, next. Image generation. This is a point I am telling. Image generation is, you see, Delhi and company has given that image. That one guy has started to think that I want to have hat, I want to have this one, just typed I want to have hat, I want with Google's here it generated that image. So this type of generating this image is now very popular. Now so many tools are there in market. All are sometimes in free, sometimes subscription based, sometimes advanced make, all those things. But so many are there. Now this industry is coming to you people. So how this background is been developed, how tools have been developed. Sir, morning is told that you have to give the importance to the how the development of this can be achievable. You have to concentrate all those things. So these image generation, all those things can be done using your developing skills. But we as professionals, we just use those tools for our image generations. So similarly, here you see some imaginary images, some drop, some is coming like this, I thought something, I want to have this type of image. Just I type, I got this image using Mid-Journey. So this type of image creation, all these tools, all these things comes under generative AI. So now you got some understanding about generative AI. Next. Again I told just our voice can be synthesized. So there is no need of Balasubramaniam. You can generate Balasubramaniam voice as it is. You can generate music related with that voice. So music and audio also as are now available. Tools are available. If you are aware of those, when you can generate song also. But the perfection, the accuracy, the spashtata, all those things matters. Those things are evolving. You may get in a 100% accuracy synthesis oriented voice. You may get in future within no doubt, within no time. Okay, next. So finally, again this I listed this video generation. I have seen Chinese Chinese video tool. I told you, I want to sing, I want to dance. I mean some Modi dance. If I write, this tool will give you Modi dancing. So what I mean to say here, it is the generative AI is having so many type of tools which can convert into imaginary world. It is creating so many things. So generative AI, significance of generative AI, I am talking here so far. So now I am going to this generative AI, how I am applicable to my broadcasting sector. Next. Okay. Now our topic, of course, OTT of generative AI within OTT. Next. OTT, madam already just before told, OTT is nothing but over the top. It's becoming more and more prevalent in the world of video consumption or video or media, whatever. Becoming the dominant form of medium delivery. Media, as of now, media delivery is OTT only. Emerging due to consumer behavior continues to revolve around convenience, flexibility and personalization. Pehli baat hai, what is this OTT? Just of course these are the simple understanding ke liye, just for understanding, sake of understanding, we just given this thing. Next slide I give some, before going to broadcast, next slide. I want to first cover broadcast, then we'll come to OTT. How many knows the broadcast? What do you mean by broadcast? What do you mean by broadcast means? Again, I am talking one to many. Okay? If we are talking one to one, it's not broadcast. It's one unicast, multicast. Like that, so many things are there. When we are talking about broadcast, means one to many. That's all. That means the signal, if you send, it will reach everybody at a time. At a time. But nowadays we are experiencing a different mode. That's different. But the basic definition is one to many communication means broadcasting enables single source to reach many simultaneously making it an effective tool for mass communication. This is the mass communication. Just you announce, it will reach everybody. It's as good as broadcast. Okay, so this is a basic definition. I'm talking about, I don't want to quote the bookish, definitions. I want to quote the understanding definitions. Let us understand meaning. That is the main point. Next. Broadcasting has undergone a transformation from traditional radio and TV signal to modern digital internet-based platforms. Okay, so what are the traditional? TV ala chustaru intlo. Morning, sir told very interesting memories. We also witnessed those memories. You might have not witnessed. You came up with a digital domain. We were in analog domains. Traditionally, radio, TV signal. As on now, even radio. You might have hearing FM. Is it not? FM is might be some radio mirchi, something. So similarly, TV signals also we used to get once upon a time, not now. So what I mean to say, that traditional shift broadcasting from traditional manner to it has came down to from digital domain. Okay, digitally so many things are there. Next. So early broadcasting methods just I listed out. Amplitude modulation. Using amplitude modulation, radio used to transmit. For EC students, it is very important. Radio broadcast was done using amplitude modulation. Then for upgradation was done to that modulation technique, and it has been called as FM, frequency modulation. So you might have the FM means that is actually radio broadcasting using technique frequency modulation. So that's why we are considered that as FM. FM means frequency modulation. It is a technique is been used for radio broadcast. Okay. So similarly, when we are talking about TV, there was a terrestrial TV. Old guys morning sir told similar way. We used to get TV signal free of cost through antenna which is over our building. Small ag antennas. Next. So like this, you see, we used to have towers. From towers, that signal is being transmitted to these antennas, which is on your terrace or somewhere on top of your house. You can receive signal free of cost. This was the mode was used in a broadcasting method. This was the earlier broadcasting method. TV broadcasting method is this one. So it was used AM, amplitude modulation, and frequency modulation for audio, amplitude modulation for video. Both together they used to transmit. So for sake of sending this signal, we are used to establish towers in strategical locations to cover population cater to that location. So that's why so many TV towers you might have witnessed. So this was the old method. We call it as a terrestrial method. It's the old broadcasting methods. Okay, next. But now you might have that has came from terrestrial, shift has came down to cable. మీ హౌస్లో ఇప్పుడు కేబుల్ ఉండొచ్చు, కేబుల్ టీవీ. సో హౌ వీఆర్ టీవీస్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ our signals are getting in through cable. That means so far tower and antenna we have media is some media. Here RF media there we call it as. Here the media is happens to be through cable. So the RF signals are transmitted through fiber or coaxial cable to set-top box for fully managed closed network. It is a closed network series. In the sense, the signal comes from some area or some center which can give it to you. Each TV has to connect that cable. Then you can get cable TV system. So broadcasting second method is very popular. Even still it is exist. Is cable TV. Okay, that means your signal is modulated, being transmitted through cable. Okay, instead of sending one channel, we can multiplex so many channels, then send through same cable. That is cable TV. Okay, next. Nowadays, one more thing, satellite. So RF signals, satellites, RF receivers, set-top box and television signal. That means you just send your signal to satellite. From satellite, you can receive directly. That we used to call as a DTH, direct to home. Tata Sky, Videocon, like that. Popular agencies are there who are giving you signal directly by keeping small dish at your home. Okay, by keeping. Okay. Oh. Okay. So this is a satellite. Now come next point. So now come back to see, this is the now OTT. OTT means, as I told you, it's over the top. It is a new distribute method. So far the signals just we are pushing. Cable say we are pushing to TV sets. But OTT is pulling. It's a pulling the data. If you want, you just pull. So you have to have internet. You can pull the data from the location or from the center, from the cloud or from the data storage. So OTT providing media content over the internet without any third party operator. Beech mein koi nahi hai. So you just plug into your data center or data storage, you can get content. In between nobody is there. Only interface is there. Wo interface might be your subscription interface, all those things. But you can get directly. So bypassing all these mechanisms. So that's been called as a over the top. Over the top, you are getting signal directly to your TV. OTT is therefore video distribution method that uses the internet to deliver content to IP connected device. So IP, wherever IP connected devices, you can get those signals. Earlier cases, if TV is there, only TV is going to get. Now mobile you can see TV signal, you can see other desktop you can see in TV as well as in. So wherever IP is got connected, this OT is made automatically available. Okay, so shall I give break? Shall we? Sir, because now I think lunchtime I was told. So I think minimum half an hour I require. The actual things are there. After this, that's why 1 to 2 lunch break is there, no, versus. So better to give this. So afterwards I will continue, sir. No issue. So better to give lunch break. I think all time out.
No problem, sir. We will give up to 2:15. We will give lunch time, sir. If we complete the 1:30, we will give 45 minutes lunch. Is it possible to complete, sir?
Okay. Then I will come fast.
Okay.
Sorry. So OTT is therefore it is a over the top. It just gives the signals through internet. So these things are just skipping. So you see content. So broadcast. I'm just saying because before going to AI, there are 3 major steps here involved. One is content creation category, and second category is transporting that content to devices. Third category is different devices. So broadcast is catered to these 3 major blocks. Okay, so all this AI also applies to all these 3 major blocks. So how this content creation is AI is applicable to content creation. How transportation of signal is applicable to AI is applicable to this area, and third one is how AI is applicable to devices. These are the real sense of generative AI or AI useful in broadcast. So as I told you, so that's terrestrial case, the consumer is getting, we are pushing, consumer getting. Where OTT, it is just pulling from that one. So, and I'm just going fastly. Okay, again content creation is again three major points: production, pre-production, production, post-production. That means before production, before shooting, rather I can say simply, before shooting what work we need to see, during shooting what are need to be taken care, after shooting what are to be taken care. That means pre-production, production, post-production. In our best pre-production, content, in this production area only, major AI tools have been implemented. All AI tools have been implemented in these areas. Content ideation and planning. If you want to if you want to plan content, that means if you want to write script, let's take, if you want to write script, earlier we used to go to the script writer, they used to give all scripts to you for making film. Now AI will generate you script if you give theme. So this is the content planning, all those things is possible in this one. So pre-production is again based on scheduling and resource management, how your resources have been managed in this thing. So again, a pre-visualization, whatever you are visualizing and which is going to be shootable, what మీరు ఏది షూట్ చేయాలనుకున్నారో you can visualize through AI. So these tools are readily available right now. AI powered tools create virtual storyboards. Storyboards, you know that the sequence of shooting frames can be generated using AI. AI generated audience preferences, trending topics, themes, all those things also means, suppose by seeing the old data, AI used to create, suppose if you see the one film, when one scene is you have seen, AI catches that one, it analyzes and gives the information to next part of data to train and to give importance to that type of scenes. So like these mind maps or flowcharts showing AI generated suggestions for themes, audience preferences in pre-production area. These tools are available in broadcasting sector. These are extensively using. Just 10 minutes. Again, production. This is the production is extensively using in particularly sports production. So automated camera operations. So if they want to track my character, if wherever I go, automatically cameras pan or zoom and everything happens. So this is there in sports broadcasting. So AI is extensively using in camera tracking, autonomously adjust the framing to adjust the shot variations. అంటే మనకి లాంగ్ షాట్ కావాలా, షార్ట్ షాట్ కావాలా, ఆటోమేటికల్లీ నేను అక్కడికి వెళ్తే ఆ కెమెరా సెలెక్ట్ అవ్వడం, ఆ కెమెరా జూమ్ అవడం. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాను, ఇప్పుడు మైక్ కూడా కొత్తగా వచ్చినాయి. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాను, దూరం వెళ్తే మైక్ ఇట్ విల్ గివ్ యూ ఏ ఎఫెక్ట్, సో దట్ ఇట్ విల్ గివ్ మోర్ range, coverage range, it increases coverage range. So what I meant to say that one, camera tracking and framing is readily available in using AI. Next. So again, if you want to anybody, sometimes in tennis or sometimes footballs, some posture they want to recognize from the video, or they want to they want to identify that posture from the video whenever live production is going on. Whenever that posture pose or gesture comes, it just picks up and the camera will automatically grab that visuals. So it waits the posture or gesture of the this thing. So this is very popular in when studio recordings and it go. If anybody, if I talk like this, my camera automatically shifts here. So that means my movement tracks accordingly. Camera also gets tracked. Next. So production again, multi-camera. So again, so many things are there like that. I'm just skipping. I think better time is the better share these PPTs to them. If any doubts are there, they can ask in the afternoon. Okay, it's again takes much time. Okay, so this I mean say I covered actually broadcast. What are the tools we are using in a workflow? I just covered in that way. So OTT is extension of this broadcast. So how in OTT, how it has been covered, also been given in a slides. You can see, if time permits, we'll discuss. Any doubts are there, I'm ready to answer you. And last, you can go last. I want to, so many things are there. Virtual, so many important things are there. Last scale, So what I will say, you can so again I'm talking that one Doordarshan has Doordarshan and AR both together has launched last slide very happy slide. Thank you. So Waves happens to be Doordarshan OTT platform. OTT platform is nothing but, as I told you, it's going to be there. So you can, government is promoting OTT of, again you are very young generation people. I suggest you concentrate on this field, AI field, in particularly developing mode, and government is giving so much promoting this AI field, and we want to develop AI tools. India want to develop our own India tools, and also we want to put our own clouds, our own data centers. So far we are using Amazon, Google. Why can't we, India country can have our own thing? So the people like you, the students like you can give you the results in that direction. So please pin me to this thing if any doubts are there. Okay. So I think thanks for your patience. Thank you very much.
Okay. If you know, hello? We all know how we have transformed from 1G to 4G, and many of your mobiles, people who have, some other people have got smartphones. Am I audible to you? See, many, I think 50 to 60% of the people must be having, you have a mobile phone which supports 5G, okay, many people, okay. Do you really get 5G services here in Tadepalli? Ela telusu meeku? Amma? Okay. I think now we can start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, 1G lo మనం ఏం చేసాము, అనలాగ్ వాయిస్ తో స్టార్ట్ చేసాం. ఓకే, డేటా ఆల్మోస్ట్ జీరో. ఓకే, analog voice using frequency modulation, FDMA and all. Second, when you gone to 2G, what is the change you got? That's what the pagers avani kodu vachayi, little bit of data started. What is the data? Less than 64 kilobits per second, but predominantly is based on voice. Then in 2010 you have gone for 3G, right? So what is it you got in 3G? So focus was on data, global connectivity. That means now your voice calls across countries. Okay, That means more and more people now gone for, in addition to voice, completely digital voice, not just 64, it has gone to 2 megabits per second. Once the data, you start get the more data, then lots of other services, web services, internet. Of course, internet was not that good in 3G, but it has started with all 3G services with the web connected, www. Then in 2010, we have gone for 4G. What is that extra you got 4G? Even now the BSNL also has got 4G services. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ తాడేపల్లిగూడెంలో 4G సర్వీస్ కావాలంటే ఏం కావాలి? బీయింగ్ ఏ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ పర్సన్, వీ షుడ్ బి నోయింగ్ లిటిల్ బిట్ మోర్, ఇజంట్ ఇట్? ఏం కావాలి 4G సర్వీస్ కావాలంటే? అంటే మన ఆపరేటర్స్ ఎవరున్నారు, జియో కానీ, ఎయిర్టెల్ కానీ, లేకపోతే బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ కానీ ఇక్కడ ఇవ్వాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఓకే, అంటే నార్మల్గా ఏం కావాలి? ఒకటి బేస్ స్టేషన్ కావాలి, యూజర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ కావాలి, వేర్ యువర్ థింగ్, అండ్ ద కమ్యూనికేషన్ నెట్వర్క్ విచ్ సపోర్ట్స్ 3G అండ్ 4G. ఫార్చునేట్లీ ద బేస్ స్టేషన్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే యువర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ కానీ యాంటీనా సర్వీసెస్ కానీ ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఈవెన్ నౌ ఆల్ ద ఆపరేటర్స్ ఇంక్లూడింగ్ బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ ఈజ్ హ్యావింగ్ నౌ 4G services. But the last 4-5 yearsలో there was a lot of push for 5G services. Okay, in fact మనం ఇప్పుడు చూస్తే in terms of development of electronic telecom equipment కానీ డెవలప్మెంట్ చూస్తే మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఏం కావాలంటే, అంటే యూఆర్ ఆల్ యంగ్ పీపుల్ హ్యావింగ్ లాట్స్ ఆఫ్ హోప్ ఇన్ ఫర్ ఫ్యూచర్ థింగ్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ జాబ్ పొటెన్షియల్ కానీ అండ్ ఆల్. మనము యాక్చువల్గా ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్ for over a period of time, we are only largely a consumer of technology in terms of telecom products. కానీ ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తాం. మన స్టేట్ చూడాలంటే మేము ఫస్ట్ బ్రాడ్కాస్టింగ్లో దూరదర్శన్లో జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు ది ఫస్ట్ 10 years 15 yearsలో ఒక పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ మా దగ్గర ట్రాన్స్మిటర్స్ ఉండేవి. ఒక పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ కనుక నేను రిపేర్ చేయాలంటే దట్స్ ఆల్ ఇంపోర్టెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ NHK జపాన్. అది ఏమైనా రిపేర్ చేయాలంటే మాస్ఫెట్, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ ఫెయిల్ అవుతాయి కదా. సో ఎనీ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్లో ఎక్కువ ఫెయిల్ అయ్యేది హై పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్. అది నేను రిపేర్ చేయాలంటే అది ఎవరు తయారు చేశారో టెక్నాలజీ, ఆ మాస్ఫెట్స్ NHK జపాన్ చేశాడు. ఓకే, ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ సాలిడ్ స్టేట్లో హై పవర్ కావాలంటే పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ సిరీస్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ వాడతాం. ఎందుకంటే ఒక హై పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ సాలిడ్ స్టేట్లో కొద్దిగా కష్టం. అందుకే కదా మనం వ్యాక్యూమ్ ట్యూబ్స్ అవి ఇంతమంది వాడేవాళ్ళము, ట్యూబ్ వెర్షన్. సో ఇక సిరీస్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ కావాలంటే ఒక పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ పోయిందంటే మనకి అలవాటు ఏంటి, మా టెక్నీషియన్ ఏం చేశాడు, పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ స్పేర్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి ఆ పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ తీసిపెట్టి మరో పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ పెడతాం. NHK జపాన్ పర్సన్ సెడ్ నో, దట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ద కేస్. మొత్తం సెట్ సిరీస్లో ఉన్న పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ అన్నీ కూడా అది చేంజ్ చేయమంటాడు. ఎందుకు చేంజ్ చేయమంటాడు చెప్పండి నాకు? పోయింది ఒకటే కదా, మొత్తం 10 యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ ఎందుకు చేంజ్ చేయాలి? ఏమా అంటే వాట్ రీజన్ అది? ఎందుకంటే మనకు తెలుసు కదా, గెయిన్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ ప్రొడక్ట్ ఈస్ కాన్స్టెంట్. మీకు ఏదైనా కానీ ఓ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ కనుక ఎఫెక్ట్ కాకూడదంటే అన్ని పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్స్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ ద సేమ్ గెయిన్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ ప్రొడక్ట్. ఓకే, ఎప్పుడైతే సిరీస్లో పెట్టారో ఒక యాంప్లిఫైర్, దాని ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రెస్పాన్స్ కనుక మ్యాచ్ కాకపోతే ఇట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ అన్ ఇంపాక్ట్ ఆన్ ద ఓవరాల్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రెస్పాన్స్. మనం ఏ పవర్ ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అయినా ఛానల్ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఆ ఛానల్ అంటే అర్థం ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈజ్ ఛానల్? రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్. దట్ మీన్స్ ఒక పవర్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ రిపేర్ చేయాలంటే ఎక్కడి నుంచి రావాలి? NHK జపాన్ నుంచి రావాలి. అలాంటి ఎన్వైర్న్మెంట్లో మనం ఎప్పుడైనా మన టెక్నాలజీ కానీ మన ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ కానీ మన ఇండస్ట్రీ కానీ డెవలప్ అవుతుందా? దట్ ఇస్ వాట్ ద షిఫ్ట్ ఈజ్ నౌ హ్యాపెండ్, దట్ ఈవెన్ 5G టెక్నాలజీస్ కానీ 6G టెక్నాలజీస్ కానీ నౌ ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఈజ్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ వాట్? డెవలప్ అవర్ ఓన్ టెక్నాలజీ. కొంచెం స్లో అయినా పర్లేదు, బట్ లెట్ ఇస్ నాట్ డిపెండ్ ఆన్ ది ఫారెన్ టెక్నాలజీ. అండ్ టుడే ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్ the last 4-5 yearsలో the push for 5G, అంటే టుడే ఈవెన్ జియో కానీ ఎయిర్టెల్ కానీ ఎంత ఫోకస్ చేశారంటే ఆల్మోస్ట్ 90% ఆఫ్ the network in India now compatible with 5G అన్నారంటే what do you mean by that? Lot of base stations have started, lot of user equipments now supported with thing. ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు విన్నారా 60% 60 to 70% of the mobiles used in India now manufactured in ఎప్పుడైనా చూసారా? ఇంతమంది చూశారు కదా, మీరు మేడ్ ఇన్ చైనా ఎక్కువ అలా చూసేవాళ్ళం. ఇప్పుడు మీరు వెనక చూడండి, మేక్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. సో దాంట్లో ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్ అంటే మొత్తం టెక్నాలజీ అంతా ఇండియాలో వచ్చేస్తున్నట్టు కాదు. Just because your mobile is manufactured in India, that doesn't mean that all entire equipment within the mobile is manufactured in India. ఎందుకంటే ఒక సెమీకండక్టర్ టెక్నాలజీ మీకు ఇక్కడ డెవలప్ అవ్వాలంటే దట్స్ నాట్ సో ఈజీ. సో అందుకోసం ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ ఫోకసింగ్ హియర్ ఆన్ ది ఇండియన్ స్టోరీ. And a lot of positive things are happening in the manufacturing of mobiles or any telecom equipment. That is a good sign for all of you people. టుడే విఎల్ఎస్ఎల్ కానీ లేకపోతే చిప్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్స్ కానీ అది డెవలప్ అవ్వకుండా మీరు టుమారో కోర్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో మీకు ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఇట్ నాట్ బీ స్ట్రాంగ్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వేర్ ద లాస్ట్ ఫ్యూ ఇయర్స్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఈస్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ manufacturing of telecom equipment. Now in 6G, you know what is 6G? 100 times faster than the 5G. What is 4G? At least 10 times faster than the 5G, 10 times faster than the 4G. So now if you start working on the nitty-gritty things and more people get opportunity to develop R&D, and that's how you become better in the future. So now the government has started the 6G manufacturing and all, whatever is required. That means pushing for R&D equipment. What are the standards required for? Because why standards are required? Not only India, any equipment which is manufactured in India, if it is to be operated in some other countries, so you have to follow the same standards which is set by the International Telecom Union. So if you have that kind of, you cannot develop your own. But you have to follow those standards so that whatever equipment you are operating here, the same mobile has to be operated in other countries also. So that means for that you have to follow the standards and all. So that is why in India now the government has started ITU center. ITU means International Telecommunication Union, which is a standard body. That office is started in now Delhi. That means whatever is required for developing the ecosystem for development of 5G and 6G, now all those things are now started in India. One more thing I will tell you to just what is the thing. For example, in our DOT, Department of Telecommunication, if one of our, because if you look at the standards, we may be very weak in developing our own technologies. But why entire world is looking at India? Because of the huge consumer base. Why? Consumer base means what? The number of users compared to any other country, we are the number one. So no manufacturer can neglect our country. So that is why if the focus is now, let us develop our own technologies, and we should reach the stage where we should not just consumer of technology, which are very good at, not just consumer of technology, we should develop exporting those telecom sector. That is why today first we look at 5G. 5G today, more than 100 test beds are available in the country. What do you mean by test bed? 5G test bed means what? What is 5G test bed? ఏదైనా టెక్నాలజీ అలా ఒకసారి వచ్చేది, you have to develop bit by bit. So that is why first government has focused on, they started ఒక 100 crores పెట్టి 5 IITsలో 5G టెక్నాలజీస్ డెవలప్ చేయడానికి ఒక స్టార్ట్ చేశారు. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ 5G టెస్ట్ బెడ్. ఓకే, జస్ట్ టు నో ఒక 5 minutes of 6 minutes of వీడియో చూడండి, ఇండియన్ టెస్ట్ బెడ్ స్టోరీ. ప్లీజ్ అది ఓపెన్ చేయండి. just see this is the what it all goes for 5G. Okay, you have the user equipment. What is user equipment? You have got mobile, right? You are only end user. But being an electronic engineer, you should be developer of technology, isn't it? You all want to be developer of technology in 5G. Okay, so already not just five test beds, today more than 100 test beds are available. They're all developing technologies. Or who are the partners? R&D device, R&D people, IITs, some of the colleges like you, and some of the telecom manufacturers, startups. They're all part of this story. Come on, please. కొంచెం పెంచండి, ఇక్కడ వచ్చేయండి సార్, ఇక్కడ వచ్చేయండి, అక్కడ వచ్చేయండి.
This problem with its scientific prowess and took the challenge of developing an indigenous 5G.
ఆడియో బాగా
Within a short span of 3 years, India has successfully
బాగుంది.
developed 5G technology, aligning expertise from 3 IITs. A team of more than 100 engineers,
ఈ ప్లేస్ బాగానే
IIT Madras, IIT Mumbai, and IIT Kanpur have designed 5G technology indigenously from scratch. All components and fabrication are entirely made in India, except the semiconductors used in it. 5G network comprises of 3 fundamental systems, namely remote radio head, baseband unit, and 5G core. Now, let us listen to the team leaders who have developed these components.
We see a lot of cell phone towers. These towers generally have antennas as well as aluminum boxes which are connected to these antennas. A remote radio head encodes information into waveforms that are transmitted over the air, which your cell phones decode. 5G remote radio heads
చక్కగా ఇంతమంది బ్రహ్మాండం చూపించారు నాకు. కొంచెం ఆడియో బాగాలేదు. సో జస్ట్ 2 minutes ఆడియో బాగాలేదు. బట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే మీకు 5G టెస్ట్ బెడ్ అంటే మీరు కూడా 5G టెక్నాలజీలో మీరు కూడా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయాలంటే ఎయిదర్ బేస్ బ్యాండ్ యూనిట్లో పైన ఫోకస్ చేయొచ్చు, ఆర్ 5G కోర్ విచ్ ఈస్ ద ఇంపార్టెంట్ బ్లాక్ ఆఫ్ ద 5G సిస్టమ్, ఆర్ తర్వాత యాంటీనా సైడ్ మనము నార్మల్గా టవర్ల పైన చూస్తాం కదా, మనము బేస్ బ్యాండ్ మనం అనుకుంటాం కదా, టవర్ ఉందా, బేస్ బ్యాండ్, అది బేసిక్గా మన యాంటీనా యూనిట్ అనమాట, పైన ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, కాకపోతే ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే టెక్నాలజీ మారుతున్న కొలది అది సైజ్ చిన్నగా అయిపోతుంటుంది. ఇనిషియల్గా మనము 4G 3Gలో పెద్ద టవర్ చూసాం. ఇప్పుడు మీరు 5Gకి వెళ్ళేటప్పటికి యాజ్ యూ ఇంక్రీజ్ ద ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ ద సైజ్ ఆఫ్ ద యాంటీనా కీప్స్ కమింగ్ డౌన్. సో ఫ్యూచర్లో మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే 5G 4G 6Gకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మీకు పెద్దగా ఇవి టవర్లు ఇంకా కనపడవు. ఓకే, అంటే మీరు వైఫై రౌటర్ చూస్తుంటారా మీ కాలేజీలో, వైఫై రౌటర్, అలానే మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా ఎందుకంటే యాంటీనాస్ యాజ్ వీ గో ఫర్ 6Gలో ఇంకా హై ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీకి వెళ్తాం. 5Gలో ఆల్రెడీ 6G ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీకి వెళ్తున్నాం. సో 4G కంటే 6Gకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మీరు యాజ్ యూ గో ఫర్ హయ్యర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ యువర్ యాంటీనా సైజ్ కీప్స్ ఆన్ కమింగ్. సో ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ అ స్మాలర్ థింగ్. అందుకోసమే ఇప్పుడు 5G టెస్ట్ బెడ్ ఇప్పుడు 3-4 IIT స్టార్ట్ చేశాయి. అంటే ఒకరేమో 5G కోర్ పైన ఫోకస్ చేశారు, కొందరేమో యూజర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఫోకస్ చేశారు, కొందరేమో రిమోట్ రేడియో హెడ్ అని చెప్పారు, RRT రిమోట్ రేడియో హెడ్ ఫోకస్ చేశారు. అండ్ ఎంటైర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ IITs and Samir is also another R&D institute in West Bengal, కలెక్టర్లో ఉంది. సో వీళ్ళందరూ ఏంటంటే దే హ్యావ్ డెవలప్డ్ దేర్ ఓన్ సిస్టమ్ which can be exported to other countries. Taking the advantage of the success story of those thing, now government has focused on 6G. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇంతవరకు ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ ఏ టెక్నాలజీ అయినా మీరు డెవలప్ చేయాలంటే ఇట్ టేక్స్ అట్లీస్ట్ 10 years 15 years ఎఫర్ట్. ఓకే, సో అట్లీస్ట్ మనం వీ లాస్ ద రేస్ ఆఫ్ 5G, బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ వీ షుడ్ నాట్ లూజ్ ద రేస్ ఆఫ్ 6G. సో అది ఆ ఇనిషియేట్ తీసుకొని మనము వీఆర్ ప్రిన్సిపలీ లార్జ్ కన్జ్యూమర్, అంటే ఒక టెక్నాలజీ కన్జ్యూమర్ నుంచి టెక్నాలజీ డెవలపర్గా నెక్స్ట్ బెస్ట్ ఈజ్ ఎక్స్పోర్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ దోస్ టెక్నాలజీస్. అప్పుడే ది గవర్నమెంట్, ది ఇండియా విల్ బికమ్ సూపర్ పవర్. అంతేగాని మనము అన్ని నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ ఉన్నారు, అందరూ మంచిగా బాగానే మాట్లాడతారు. వై దే ఆర్ వెరీ, ఈవెన్ దో దే ఆర్ నాట్ లైకింగ్ ఇండియా, దే ఆర్ టాకింగ్ వెరీ నైస్ బికాస్ ద హ్యూజ్ కన్జ్యూమర్ బేస్, because you are the people who are purchasing the technology. So now that is why now that success story చూస్తే more than 100 test beds ఉన్నాయి. Today 90% of the area is now covered by 5G. Covered by 5G అంటే అర్థం ఏంటి? Being an electronic engineer, we should know that just by covering means that all these 3 modules వచ్చాయి. ఏది? 5G core వచ్చింది, 5G ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ అంటే 5G కోర్ వచ్చింది, 5G రిమోట్ రేడియో హెడ్స్ వచ్చాయి, 5G యూజర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ వచ్చింది, అండ్ అంటే ఎప్పుడైతే 5G అంటే హయ్యర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ వచ్చాయి. హయ్యర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అంటే మోర్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్, సో మోర్ కెపాసిటీ. సో ఫ్రమ్ 5G నౌ పీపుల్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ 6G. దెన్ వాట్ ఈజ్ 6G మనం అనుకోవచ్చు, చాలామందికి చాలా వెరీ నెగిటివ్ అవుట్లుక్ ఉంటుంది. మనం ఏమిటి 5G ఏంటి, మనం ఏంటి ఎక్స్పోర్టర్ ఆఫ్ టెక్నాలజీ ఏంటి. సో జస్ట్ టు గివ్ యూ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టెలింగ్ ఎనీ న్యూ స్టోరీస్, ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ టెలింగ్ యూ వాట్ ఈజ్ యాక్చువల్లీ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. ఆల్రెడీ జరుగుతుందని చెప్తున్నాను. అంటే 90% 5G అక్రాస్ ఇండియా ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఈజ్ ఏ గ్రేట్ థింగ్. Except semiconductor components, all other manufacturing in India. So getting semiconductor దాంట్లో మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ అనేది అంత ఈజీ కాదు. ఓకేనా?
కనెక్ట్ చేస్తే ఆ స్పీకర్ ఆన్ అవుతుందని
అవట్లేదు,
ప్రొజెక్టర్ స్పీకర్కి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది మొత్తం, అంటే డిస్ప్లే మారిపోతుంది.
మైక్ పెట్టనా? ఎక్కడుంటుంది రిమోట్ ఆడియేట్? ఒక టవర్ పైన దాంట్లో ఏముంటాయి? యాంటీనాస్ అండ్ అదర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఫర్ డెవలపింగ్. ఇంతకుముందు అలా కాదు, పెద్ద పెద్ద యాంటీనాస్ కనపడేవి. ఇప్పుడు యాంటీనాస్ 5Gలో పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద బాక్స్. నెక్స్ట్ లేదు, అదే కొంచెం బేస్ బ్యాండ్కి వెళ్ళండి.
Baseband unit is the heart of 5G base station. It does bulk of the processing and it has to be designed accordingly.
బేస్ బ్యాండ్ ఏంటంటే వితౌట్ మాడ్యులేషన్. ఏదైనా సిగ్నల్ బేస్ బ్యాండ్ అర్థం ఏంటి? నో మాడ్యులేషన్. మాడ్యులేట్ అయిన తర్వాత ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అవుతుంది, అంతే కదా. సో టిల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ మాడ్యులేటెడ్ వీ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ బేస్ బ్యాండ్ సిగ్నల్. బేస్ బ్యాండ్ మీన్స్ వాస్ నో మాడ్యులేషన్, రైట్?
That's how we have designed it. Each radio head can serve a control 40 gigabits of data, which baseband unit can cooperate with each other to preserve multiple remote radio heads to enable cloud radio access. Each such board runs primarily the L1 stack. L2 and L3 stack are being run on the commercial off-the-shelf server. So each such board is designed to serve 400 megahertz of bandwidth, so it has multiple SDPs. The software is compliant with the ORAN standard and it is designed to serve industry standard standpoint blocks. So it can support up to 256 class, can serve up to 20 users in a 0.5 millisecond PDI.
కొంచెం పెంచండి, కొంచెం అలా.
For example,
And the user connects to the internet, to flow from the
అండ్ ఒక బేస్ బ్యాండ్ యూనిట్ ఒకటి డెవలప్ చేశారు. తర్వాత దాని కోర్ 5G core is where all important electronics will be there. Come on.
5G. So the 5G core is designed to have a cloud-native architecture. The various components of the 5G core are built as software components on regular commodity hardware, not on custom specialized hardware, but on regular servers. Other aspect is that the control plane, the logic that sets up the sessions is separate from the data plane where the actual forwarding of the data happens. We have
block diagram
cloud line set up over here, and these servers are running the various 5G core components, the control plane components, and the user plane or the data plane components. They're all running here.
ఓకే, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాక్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ మై రిక్వెస్ట్ ఈజ్ మీరు యూట్యూబ్కి వెళ్ళండి. యూట్యూబ్కి వెళ్ళి 5G టెస్ట్ బెడ్ అంటే వస్తుంది. దేర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ రిజల్ట్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. మై రిక్వెస్ట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ ఎవరైతే థర్డ్ ఇయర్లో ఉంటారో మీరు జస్ట్ ఫోకస్ ఆన్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్. ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ గో ఫర్ ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టంలో. ఒక్కస్ దట్స్ ఆల్సో గుడ్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్. మీరు అక్కడక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ అవైలబుల్ మాడ్యూల్ తీసుకొచ్చేసేసి మీరు అసెంబుల్ చేసే కంటే మీరు యూ షుడ్ ఫోకస్ ఆన్. ఎందుకంటే నా ఇప్పుడు అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే ఆల్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ కానీ ఓపెన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ బేసికలీ మీ దగ్గర అవైలబిలిటీ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇఫ్ సంబడి ఈజ్ రియలీ హ్యావింగ్, ఎందుకంటే యూ కెన్ ఆల్వేస్ గో టు ఐఐటి చెన్నై ఆర్ ఎనీ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ఐఐటి హైదరాబాద్, దే విల్ సపోర్ట్ యూ. ఎందుకంటే దేర్ ఆల్రెడీ అవైలబుల్ పీపుల్ ఉన్నారు, అంటే దే బీన్ డైరెక్టెడ్ ఆల్ దీస్ ఐఐటి. ఇంతకుముందు అంటే ఐఐటి అనేది ఒక పెద్ద ఎవరో వెళ్ళే ప్లేస్ కాదు, బట్ నౌ ఎవ్రీబడి కెన్ గో, ఆల్ కాలేజెస్ కెన్ ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ దోస్ పీపుల్, దే బీన్ డైరెక్టెడ్ టు టెల్ ఎవ్రీబడి. ఐఐటీస్ అంటే మీరు చేసుకోవడం కాదు, మీరు యూ హ్యావ్ టు డెవలప్, హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ యూ ఆర్ డెవలపింగ్ అని అడుగుతున్నారు వాళ్ళని. సో డెఫినెట్లీ ఎన్వైర్న్మెంట్ విల్ ఈజ్ రియలీ గుడ్. ఇఫ్ సంబడి, ఇప్పుడు వాట్ ఎవర్ క్లాస్ ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ యూ మే అండర్స్టాండ్, బట్ ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ హియర్ టు గివ్ ఎ స్మాల్ స్పార్క్ దట్ the government is really interested in developing technologies, developing telecom products where you can also become part of the. So andukosame my request is, next when you go back, you just go to YouTube's, then see what are the development, what are things happening in 5G and 6G. Okay. Another important point before we conclude, important points. When you go from 4G to 5G, 6G, what is the technological shift happening from 4G to 6G? సో 3G నుంచి 4G వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మీకు డేటా డౌన్లోడ్స్ బాగా ఎక్కువ అవుతున్నాయి, డేటా స్పీడ్స్ ఎక్కువ అవుతున్నాయి, అండ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటర్నెట్స్, లాట్ ఆఫ్ వీడియోస్ యూ ఆర్ గెటింగ్ డౌన్లోడెడ్ వెరీ ఫాస్ట్ బికాస్ ద డేటా rates are high. But apart from that, a lot of technological shift happening from 4G to go to 5G and 6G. What are those technological shift is that, for example, now when you go from for example, if you look at the 4G, what is happening? See, when you go from the non-linear shift, that means Netflix కానీ ఇలాంటి వీడియోస్ అన్నీ కూడా బాగా డెవలప్ అయ్యింది ఎప్పుడంటే ఈ 4G వచ్చిన తర్వాతే, బికాస్ more than 2 megabits per data ఆ డేటా రేట్స్ వస్తున్నాయి. సో నాట్ ఓన్లీ ది నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్, ఫేస్బుక్ కానివ్వండి, యూట్యూబ్ డౌన్లోడ్స్ కానివ్వండి, ఈ మూడు కూడా చాలా ఫినామినల్గా పెరిగింది ఎప్పుడంటే 4G వచ్చిన తర్వాతే. బట్ నౌ ది అప్లికేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ 5G and 6G ఆర్ కంప్లీట్లీ డిఫరెంట్. ఐ విల్ జస్ట్ షో యూ వన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్. ఇప్పుడు 5G and 6Gలో, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు కనెక్ట్ IoT డివైజెస్, is it possible in 4G? Even though you can connect, but some of the applications like the IoT devices and other thing, that all industrial control applications ఏమైనా చెప్పగలరా ఒకటైనా? Industrial control, for India wants develop some hundreds of smart cities. What do you mean by smart city? అంటే ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ కన్సంప్షన్ కానివ్వండి, ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫిషియెంట్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ రిసోర్సెస్ కానివ్వండి. వీ హ్యావ్ గాట్ రీసెంట్లీ ఒక కలెక్టర్ గారు IoT బాడీ, అంటే ఆ సిటీలో ది ఎఫిషియెంట్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్ అంటే అట్లీస్ట్ 44,000 లీటర్స్ ఆఫ్ IoT బాడీ కన్సంప్షన్ తగ్గించాడంట. అంటే లైక్ దట్ ఒక సిటీ స్మార్ట్ సిటీ అయ్యింది అంటే there are so many applications including power consumption కానివ్వండి, వాటర్ యూసేజ్ కానివ్వండి, ట్రాఫిక్ కానివ్వండి, రైట్? ఒక ఇండస్ట్రీలో మీరు రిమోట్గా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక కెమికల్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ ఉంది, కెమికల్ ఫ్యాక్టరీలో కొన్ని రియాక్టర్స్ ఉంటాయి, మీరు చాలాసార్లు చదువుతుంటారు, చాలామంది చాలా కెమికల్ ఫ్యాక్టరీలో యాక్సిడెంట్ అవుతున్నాయని, చాలామంది చనిపోవడం అన్నీ. సో అలాంటి ఇండస్ట్రియల్ కంట్రోల్లో వేర్ బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ 5G and 6G డివైజెస్, ఇఫ్ యూ కెన్ రిమోట్లీ ఆపరేట్, ఓకే, దే అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. బట్ అలాంటి అప్లికేషన్స్ మీరు కంట్రోల్ చేయాలంటే 5Gలో ఉన్న అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, చాలా సార్ చెప్పినట్టు మీరు ఆటోమేషన్, ఓకే, ఆటోమేటెడ్ కార్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా, అంటే రిమోట్ డ్రైవర్లెస్ కార్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా. డ్రైవర్లెస్ కార్లో ఒకడు ఉన్నాడంటే అది ఎంత టైంలో మీరు ఆపరేట్ చేయగలగాలి? ఫ్రమ్ ద బేస్ స్టేషన్ మీరు కంట్రోల్ చేస్తున్నారు, So if you want to, based on the other traffic, you have to keep changing your బ్రేక్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే ది ఆపరేషన్ డ్రైవింగ్ లెఫ్ట్ రైట్ తిరగడం కానీ అది ఎంతలో జరిగిపోవాలి ఇన్ ఎ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్. సమ్ టైమ్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఆపరేట్, అంటే దట్ షుడ్ ఆపరేట్ విత్ ఇన్ ఎ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్. అవన్నీ ఎప్పుడు అవుతాయి? ఓన్లీ వెన్ యూ గో ఫర్ హయ్యర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యూ సే డేటా కంట్రోల్ చెప్తున్నాం కదా, వెన్ యూ గో ఫర్ 5G యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ 1 second డిలే అంటున్నాము. ఇఫ్ యూ గో ఫర్ 6G ఇట్ విల్ బి 1 millisecond డిలే అంటున్నాము. సో యాజ్ యూ గో ఫర్ హయ్యర్ frequencies and all, the faster responses, then only you will be able to control this kind of applications, especially industrial control and the IoT device and all. అలాంటి అప్లికేషన్స్ మీరు కనుక ఇప్పుడు స్మార్ట్ సిటీస్ అలాంటివన్నీ కూడా ఆపరేట్ అవ్వాలంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో ఫర్ 5G and 6G, which is not possible in thing. ఈవెన్ 4Gలో ఒక వాయిస్ అప్లికేషన్స్ మీరు చాలామంది ఇప్పుడు నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్ అలాంటి దీంట్లో మీరు ఆడియో వీడియో ఆపరేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో ఈ 4G వరకు ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ డేటా, అన్నీ కూడా IP బేస్డే. దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ స్టాండర్డ్స్ విత్ వాయిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు, వాయిస్ని కూడా ప్యాకెట్స్ వైజ్లో మీరు ఉన్న స్ట్రీమ్నే వాడుతున్నారు, IP ప్యాకెట్స్. బట్ దెర్ ఈజ్ నో స్పెషల్ స్టాండర్డ్స్ ఫర్ వాయిస్ అండ్ థింగ్. అవి అలాంటి స్పెషల్ అప్లికేషన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా 5G అండ్ 6Gలో ఉంటాయి. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇలాంటి FDMA మీకు తెలుసు. వాట్ ఈస్ ద చేంజ్ ఫ్రమ్ 4G to 5G అంటాం. FDMAలో దేర్ ఈజ్ ఎ గ్యాప్ బిట్వీన్ FDMAలో మధ్యలో మీకు స్పేస్ ఉంటుంది కదా, ఆ స్పేస్ మీకు వేస్టేజే కదా. ఎందుకంటే సమ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ యు ఆర్ not using it because one subband and other subband there is a space. But when you go for orthogonal frequency division, even though of course 4Gలో కూడా ఈ orthogonal frequency division multiples ఉన్నా కానీ there is efficient optimal utilization is happening in 5G, not in the 4G. And these are some of the examples. సపోజ్ ఇక్కడ మనకి మామూలుగా ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఈ టవర్స్లో మీకు యాంటీనా ఉందనుకోండి, సో ఐసోట్రోపిక్ బిహేవియర్ ఉంటుంది. అంటే అన్ని సైడ్లు ఒకే ప్యాటర్న్లో మీరు అంటే మీరు ఎవరైనా ఉన్నా, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏదైనా ఆపరేషన్లో మీకు ఆ సిటీలో యూజర్స్ ఉన్నా లేకపోయినా మీరు కంటిన్యూస్గా మీరు రేడియేట్ చేస్తుంటారు. అలా కాకుండా మీకు నిజంగా యూజర్స్ ఉంటేనే మీరు ఆపరేట్ చేసేటట్టు అలాంటి టెక్నాలజీ ఎప్పుడు పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంటుందంటే ఓన్లీ ఇన్ 5G అండ్ 6G. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక యాంటీనా ఉందనుకోండి, ఇట్ కీప్స్ ఆన్ రేడియేటింగ్ వెదర్ ద యూజర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఆర్ నాట్. బట్ ఇఫ్ రియల్ ఆప్టిమైజేషన్ ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది, యూజర్స్ లేనప్పుడు, లేకపోతే నైట్ అవుతుంది అనుకోండి. నైట్ ఎవరందరూ 6 తర్వాత ఎవరు ఆ విలేజ్లో లేరు అనుకోండి, సో యూ విల్ స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద బీమ్, దేర్ బై యూ విల్ బి changing. So this just an example I am telling you what are the various ways of which we can reduce the energy and you can increase the operation. So those kinds of things are there in 5G and 6G. That is why the 5G and 6G are very key for these kind of smart cities and all applications. So I am very sure but because of time, so I am just stopping here. But there are so many other things which I want to talk. But there are a lot of technologies. I request you just keep focusing on 5G and 6G. A lot of literature is available in YouTube and other thing. Yeah, government is now doing a wonderful job in promoting research. Not only in colleges and all, but there are a lot of research organizations. Everybody, you can also be part of that research group and you can get benefited. Thank you very much. Any doubts you have got? See, any doubts where I can be of use? Any doubts? Any doubts? My sincere request is there are a lot of good projects available. పెద్ద కష్టపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 5G కోర్ ఇండియా డెవలప్ చేసింది కదా IITsలో. ఇప్పుడు దే హ్యావ్ యూజ్డ్ ఆల్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ క్లౌడ్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్. క్లౌడ్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ ఇస్ అవైలబుల్. మీరేం డెవలప్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఓకే, ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ చాలా ఉన్నాయి. ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ అంటే మీ యూనిక్స్ ఓపెన్ చేసారా? ఓకే, విండోస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఓపెన్ సోర్స్, బట్ యువర్ Linux is open source. What is the advantage? Those modules you can also develop, you can also be part of the story. Similarly, there are a lot of open cloud architecture is there. దాన్ని వాడే వాళ్ళు IIT వాళ్ళు డెవలప్ చేశారు. బట్ see, some of the semiconductor technology very important. In fact, government 3 years back the semiconductor technology already companies have started here. అంటే మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ఆఫ్ సెమికండక్టర్ టెక్నాలజీ స్టార్టెడ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా వెరీ ఫస్ట్ టైం. అంటే ఇంతకుముందు వీళ్ళు కూడా 5G వాళ్ళు డెవలప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎక్సెప్ట్ సెమికండక్టర్ టెక్నాలజీ బేస్ బ్యాండ్ యూనిట్ ఉందనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ మధ్య మీకు స్నాప్డ్రాగన్ CPU చిప్ అంటున్నారు కదా. సో చిప్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ఈజ్ ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. ఓకే, సో లాట్ ఆఫ్ పాజిటివ్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ఇండస్ట్రీ. ఎనీ అదర్ డౌట్? కమా, టైం ఫ్యాక్టర్ వల్ల ఎక్కువ మీతో డిస్కస్ చేయలేకపోతున్నాను. నో డౌట్స్ అంటే ఏమీ అర్థం కాలేదు. ఓకే,
So thank you for your wonderful sessions on 5G and 6G. Now I request Namassivaya sir to take the next session.
Just only I will give the concepts and also how this broadcasting is influencing the AI and how the AI is influencing the broadcasting. Just I will give the concepts in various applications. Of course, already you have heard about this AI and etc. Just introduction to AI in broadcasting. So, revolutionary content creation, enhancing the efficiency, improving the viewer experience. So, doubts? Any
10 minutes for interaction.
Any doubts or anything? Well understand. Thank you.
So till now we had very good sessions, technical sessions by the guest speakers from the Broadcast Engineering Society. So thank you all of you. Now the next session is on ethics in broadcasting. Why this session was included in this seminar program? Because the broadcasting and what are the advancements in broadcasting, what are the AI tools, how the AI is influencing on the broadcasting, and what are the facilities nowadays we are enjoying with the AI tools, AI algorithms in the domain of broadcasting. So these are all we are seeing. But at the same time, we need to follow the ethics also. So that's why, particularly in the domain of broadcasting, so we need to follow the ethics. So that's why this session was included, Ethics in Broadcasting, a guide to moral decision making. Presentation outline: Introduction to Ethics, Key Principles of Ethics, Introduction to Broadcasting, Impact on Society, Ethics in Broadcasting, what is its impact on the society, what are the ethical challenges that broadcasting people should maintain, they are facing, and unethical conduct in the broadcasting and its impact on society. If unethical acts are going on, what are the acts and what are the punishments are taken by our government, that is the legal acts and regulations, and what are the strategies in order to improve the ethical broadcasting, and finally the conclusion. So this is my outline of the presentation outline. Next slide. So just మీరు మూవ్ చేశాను. Okay. So ethics is a branch of moral philosophy. It gives the principles or rules to all the human beings. With that ethics, every human being can differentiate what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is not good. With that ethics, if an ethical person can influence the society, with that ethical person, the remaining younger generations can inspire with him. So that is the ethics, and these are the 6 major pillars. These are the 6 major pillars of ethics, or it is also called as the core ethical principles. Core ethical principles. So what are those? Respect for the human dignity. Respect for the human dignity, fairness, transparency, honesty, non-discrimination, and accountability. So these are called as the major key principles or core pillars of ethics, 6 pillars of ethics. So now let us discuss one by one. So what is this respect for human dignity? Because we are working in some place, some organization. So we need to give the respect to the other colleagues or elderly people or higher authorization people. So likewise higher authorities. So in that way we need to give the respect. The respect is the fundamental key principle of the ethics. And fairness. Next one is the fairness. So fairness means we need to maintain the impartiality. We should not show the partiality. So impartiality and equity, there is no discrimination between the genders, no racism, no casteism, no groupism. So likewise the fairness. Okay, and transparency. So transparency means, for example, if we take the organization, every organization is having certain policies or certain rules and regulations. So then their expectations. So that expectations, those rules and regulations and their policies, they need to disseminate to the lower their subordinates properly. Similarly, suppose if we take the government, so government generally used to do the policies or issue the GOs on different schemes. So that schemes should be transparently disseminated to the beneficiaries. Then only the schemes will work sustainability. So that transparency means information should be transferred properly to all the sectors in any work organization or in any government, like that. And honesty, we know, each and everyone we know, honesty is the best policy. So that honesty builds a character. The honesty, for example, we can believe, we can trust in a good manner the honest person. If the person is not having the honesty, we cannot believe him. We cannot put and trust on him. First time, 1 or 2 times we can trust, 1 or 2 times we can believe, but later that he may lose. Okay, so everybody should have the honesty and non-discrimination. Non-discrimination, as I already told you, so there is no groupism, there should not be a racism, casteism, all these. Non-discrimination. Especially between the gender, it is a male, it is a female, likewise. Accountability and responsibility. So accountability and responsibility are the 2 major principles for every human being. So what are the actions, suppose if you are doing, or what are the, in terms of, for example, if you are taking in terms of the broadcasting, so generally the journalists use it to write a news articles as per their ideas, as per the data collected from the local people. But with that, in that, some part may be the truth, some part may be the facts, but some part is misinformation. But for that misinformation, they have to show the accountability. They should feel the responsible. Okay, so whatever the function if you are doing, whatever the work you are doing, you should be whole and soul responsible and showing the accountability. You need to answerable. These are the major core pillars. So next. So key principles of ethics, just now we have discussed honesty, fairness, integrity, respect. Integrity, this is also one of the best thing. Integrity, that is the unity in every organization. If and only all the workers, if and only all the employees are having the integrity, then only the progress of the organization is achieved. Okay, so the adherence to the strong moral principles. Adherence, that is the commitment. We need to commit to the rules and regulations framed by the organization. The strong adherence, strong commitment, that is possible only with the help of the integrity. So adherence to the strong moral principles and the commitment to do right thing even when it's difficult. Even in the difficult situations also we have to do the only right things. Respect, already I told you. Next, ethics in the workplace. Ethics in the workplace, or this is also called as the work ethics or ethics in the work organization. So fair treatment, confidentiality. Fair treatment already we have discussed. Transparency already we have discussed. Now confidentiality and compliance. Confidentiality. Confidentiality is very, very important because in some, for example, if you are taking in some research organizations, so those research organizations, that scientists, so they are doing some formulas, they are inventing some formulas like that. Okay, some defense organizations. So those principles, those formulas, it should not be leaked. It should not be transferred to the other opposition parties. When it is possible, when the workers or when the employees are strongly commitment and they are having strong integrity, then only they can maintain the confidentiality. Here the confidentiality in the sense, the data security. Are you getting my points? Okay, so protecting the sensitive information. Protecting the sensitive information and maintaining the privacy, respecting the confidentiality. Compliance. Compliance means adhering to all the applicable laws and regulations, ensuring ethical business practices. Okay? Next. So ethical decision making. These are all the parts of the ethics. So ethical decision making. First of all, clearly define the issue and the values at the stake. So first of all, we have to define the issue clearly, then only we can move forward. Next, gather the information. Collect the relevant facts and perspectives to inform your decision. Consider alternatives also. Explore different courses of action and their potential consequences. Consult with the others. Seek advice from the trusted individuals or ethical resources. Make the decision. This is the final step. So choose the option that again is best with your ethical principles and values. So in order to make a decision making, that too it should be ethical manner. So we need to follow all these steps. Because particularly in the broadcasting, with that broadcasting, the society may impact very much. It is relevant to the public. It is not relevant to the only individual person. It is relevant to the public. So, particularly who is going to broadcast or who is going to telecast the news, or any report, he has to maintain all these morals and values. Next. So importance of ethical leadership. Importance of ethical leadership. So first and foremost is the trust. So ethical leaders build trust by acting with integrity and transparency. So in one particular organization, so definitely the head of the institution is there. He is the leader. So how that leadership should be an ethical. And what is the importance of that leadership? He should maintain the trust. He has to get the trust of his co-employees. So that is, ethical leaders build the trust by acting with integrity and transparency. And motivation. They inspire. The ethical leaders is inspiring the others. They act ethically by set the strong morals as an example. Performance. Ethical conduct contributes to a positive work environment and improve the performance. So when we had a strong leader and that leader is equipped with the moral values, so then definitely he will create the positive work environment. He will create the positive work environment, and thereby when the work environment becomes more positive, definitely the performance is better. So improved performance. Reputation. When the performance is better, automatically the reputation will come. The reputation of any organization, reputation of any office, like that. So reputation. Ethical companies attract and retain the talented individuals and build a strong reputation. So these are the importance of the ethical leadership. So this is the ethics and how a leader should be, and in what way he has to take the decision, and what are the principles he has to equip. That is the ethics. Now broadcasting and its significance. So broadcasting refers to the process of transmitting either audio, video or data content to a large geographically dispersed audience via the electronic mass communication systems such as radio, television or internet. So broadcasting means a process of transmission, either the audio content, whether it is an audio content or data content or video content, whatever it may be, to a large geographically dispersed audience. It may be the countries, states, continents, whatever it may be. So nowadays we are getting the information, or we are getting the news all around the world also. Okay, so it is possible with the help of the broadcasting. And broadcasting plays a vital role in mass communication, shaping the public opinion, providing the entertainment and sharing the critical information with a large audience. That means with the help of the broadcasting only, shaping the public opinion. What is meant by the shaping the public opinion? See, suppose if you are reading any newspaper, then you will get an idea. Yes, this party is doing like this party is doing like this. Then you can frame an opinion on your mind. Similarly, if you are seeing a news in the channels, and one particular channel will telecast some news, another particular channel will telecast another news. So with those news content, you can frame your ideas, or you can frame your opinions on that particular party or on that particular person, on that particular leader, likewise. So it plays a vital role in the mass communication, shaping the public opinion and providing the entertainment. Already we know that broadcasting is providing a huge amount of entertainment, and sharing the critical information. Sharing the critical information is nothing but, nowadays the broadcasting becomes very, very simple. It's a very, very simple. It becomes a very simple in the concept. Immediately within the seconds, we can transfer the information. Suppose I need some A positive blood, likewise. Okay, so sharing, the information sharing becomes a very fast manner, isn't it? Okay, so that is the sharing the critical information with large audiences. Broadcasting has influence on society, shaping culture, communication, politics, economics, social behavior, all these. Shaping the culture. Shaping the culture means, previously in the olden days, because of these many advancements in the broadcasting, we know only our surrounding people culture, likewise. But nowadays we know how the North Indian people culture, how the other country people culture. So that is the complete culture communication is also possible in globally. So next slide. So the evolution of the broadcasting, how the evolution. So already previous sirs has discussed already 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. So previously early radio broadcasting, after that television broadcasting, after that nowadays the broadcasting through internet. So completely the digital technology. Shaping the public opinion, already we have discussed. Cultural exchange. Yes, Cultural exchange. Broadcasting facilitates the cultural exchange, exposing audiences to the diverse perspective, traditions. Social norms, broadcast content, and it can influence social norms and values, reflecting and shaping the societal trends also. Global community. With this global community facility, it's connecting the people. It's connecting the people and share their ideas and experiences. Next. This one. Digital streaming, technological advancements in the broadcasting, digital streaming, satellite broadcasting and internet broadcasting. So digital streaming, streaming services allow the viewers to access the content on demand. Satellite broadcasting, so because of this facility, the signals can reach even the other. There is no geographical barriers. Whatever the distance, we can transmit. The broadcasting is possible. Internet broadcasting. The internet has revolutionized broadcasting, enabling the live streaming on the demand basis. Live streaming already, the digital streaming or live streaming technologies nowadays already we are enjoying, like Netflix, all these things. Okay, Amazon, this one. Next slide. See, these are the various digital streaming or internet streaming. See, nowadays it is called as the new media. So what is meant by the new media? So new media includes all the forms of communication, including the digital world, electronic video games, internet, social media, and these are all the various platforms through which this digital streaming is going on. Okay, so new media contains websites, blogs, streaming, audio, video, chat rooms, email, online communities, social media, mobile apps, web advertising. So these are all, with all these, the broadcasting becomes so much fast. Okay, very quick broadcasting. Now, ethics in broadcasting. So till now we have seen what are the ethics and what is the broadcasting. So now, how the ethics should be followed in the broadcasting. This is the moral principles and accountability. See, media ethics are important. Media ethics are important for proper broadcasting and avoiding the misrepresentation of the information. Information should be properly conveyed to the public. Okay, so avoiding the misrepresentation of information to avoid the conflicts of interest, because once the misrepresentation is conveyed to the public opinion may change, or the public may get confusion. What is the originality, what is going on? Okay, so that's why the broadcasting should take initiation and to maintain the proper information dissemination. Core ethical principles, already we have discussed: fairness, truthfulness, responsibility, independence in the field of broadcasting. These are all the field of broadcasting. Ethics in broadcasting workplace, transparency, open communication and clear ethical guidelines for all the employees. Accountability, confidentiality. Here, for example, confidentiality is one of the ethic, but how it should be maintained in the broadcasting. Okay, suppose if there is any news, one critical news, but that news is to be conveyed to the public, but those persons, they don't want to reveal their faces, they don't want to reveal their details. Only the information should be conveyed, but they don't want to reveal their faces. Okay. then they have to maintain the confidentiality. Okay, next slide. Okay, next, importance of the accuracy and objectivity. Importance of the accuracy and objectivity. So, foundation of trust, avoiding the misinformation, that is accuracy, avoiding the misinformation. Accuracy ensures that the information presented is factually correct and avoids the spreading misinformation that can have harmful consequences. For example, just suppose if there is a news, in the next month the government is releasing so many jobs, just like a news, but it is not actually. Suppose by seeing that news, the youth or younger generation, they can build so many hopes, for example. That is actual misinformation. Just take it as an example. Okay, after that, later, after 1 or 2 months, again, if they send or if they print, there are no opportunities. Then the public may be disappointed. So that is the consequences. Okay. So that is the misinformation that can have harmful consequences. Next. So social impact on ethical broadcasting. Once the broadcasting is in a proper way, it is in ethical way, so then definitely it builds the trust. It builds the trust from the society. So it building the trust, empowering the citizens by transmitting the correct information. By transmitting the correct information, it should empower the citizens. So the citizens of the country has to get a correct information. Promoting the social justice. There is no discrimination. There should not be a discrimination. Fighting the discrimination and injustice. Fostering the dialogue and understanding. Bridging divides and promoting the peace. Fostering the dialogue in the sense, nowadays in the broadcasting, so many news channels are used to conduct the debates, group discussions, and they are directly going to the public and they want to hear from the public decisions, what is their opinions. So likewise, that is the dialogue. So fostering the dialogue and understanding. So with that what happens? The empowering. They want to know what is the public opinion, what is the public pulse. Next. So importance of the truth, accuracy in the news reporting. It's almost repeated, this one. Okay, now the ethical challenges in the media. So we are saying the broadcasting should be in a proper way, the broadcast people should maintain the ethics likewise. But what are their challenges? In order to maintain that, what are the ethical challenges in the broadcasting? So fact checking in the news reporting. Before releasing the news, before telecasting the news, first of all they have to check thoroughly that news, what are the facts of that news. So fact checking in the news reporting, verification process, multiple sources, and transparency and correction. So these are the various steps in the fact checking in the news reporting. Next. Maintaining the transparency in the news coverage. Source disclosure, avoiding the conflicts of interest, corrections and clarification. Maintaining the transparency. Okay. Corrections and clarification If inaccuracies or omissions arise, news outlets should promptly issue corrections and clarifications. This demonstrates the accountability and a commitment to the accuracy. That means, what does it mean? Suppose by mistake, if they telecast the wrong news, immediately they have to check, immediately they have to verify and retelecast what is the correct news. That is the accountability, that they should feel the responsible. Ethical considerations in the storytelling. Ethical considerations in the storytelling. For example, if one program is telecasting, so that is the empathy is the major step. Empathy means one should feel the other emotions, the other person emotions, one should feel. The journalist should approach the stories with empathy for the subjects involved. This includes listening attentively, respecting perspectives, and avoiding the exploitation. Avoiding the exploitation means, so if the content is good, if the news is good, then only they have to take into the consideration. Otherwise, for the just channel ratings or publicity, they should not consider. Next. Balancing the fairness and impartiality. Balancing the fairness and impartiality. Multiple perspectives. News coverage should include diverse viewpoints, perspectives on complex issues, fact-based reporting. Reporters should rely on verifiable facts and evidence to support their claims rather than relying okay, so next is importance of minimizing the harm. That is avoiding the sensationalism. Avoiding the sensationalism means sometimes we may observe only for a small news, the news reporters are continuously they are used to telecasting. That is, they are creating the sensationalism. But with that, there is no help to the public. There is no use to the public. Okay. Understanding the sensitive topics. Okay. Respecting the privacy and confidentiality. Data security. Store the data securely, limiting access to the authorized person and following the appropriate data protection measures. So this is very, very important. Suppose sometimes we hear that the 10th class question papers are leaked. Okay. So there is no data security. Mitigating the unintended consequences. Mitigating means avoiding or reducing. So mitigating the unintended consequences. So suppose if the misinformation is going on, if misinformation is telecasting, what are the consequences and how it should be avoided? Predicting the potential impacts. What are the impact of that already we should predict. Anticipating the addressing concerns, seeking the feedback. By taking the immediate feedback, we can avoid the consequences in a large extent. Next slide. Promoting the diversity and inclusion in the media, that is representation, inclusion of voices, challenging the stereotypes. So now, unethical conduct in the broadcasting. In what way the unethical conduct or unethical behavior in the broadcasting, and what is impact on the society? Generally, why? Because of this TRP rating or channel ratings and creating the sensationalism, they want to grab the attention of the public. They want to grab the attention of the public. Sensationalism tries on capturing the attention, often sacrificing the accuracy for shock value. There is no accuracy in that news, but because of that sensationalism, they use it to grab the attention of the public. Profit driven, it is an unethical concept. Profit driven. For example, some political party, for example, just they want to telecast the news on their favor. Okay, so it is for that the channels will take the some amount, that is the profit driven. It is an unethical concept. News outlets sometimes prioritize the sensational stories to boost the viewership and advertising the revenue. Erosion of the trust. One time and two times the public may believe the broadcast journalism or this broadcasting, but once it becomes unethical, the trust may lose. They will lose the trust. That is the erosion of the trust. Okay, next. Okay, this is the blurred line between the news and entertainment. News and entertainment. Generally, the broadcasting main purpose is to empower the citizens with the help of the proper news. But at the same time, it can provide the entertainment also. But nowadays, more priority is giving to the entertainment. So that is a line between, a blurred line between the news and entertainment. Rebuilding the public trust in media. Suppose if the trust is losing, then how can we rebuild it? How can we rebuild it? That is, there are majorly 3 steps. Acknowledge the past mistakes, and take the steps to avoid the repeating them. Okay? Acknowledge the past mistakes. Similarly, promote the ethical practices and hold journalists accountable. Invest the journalism education and training. So they need to provide the proper awareness programs, proper training programs to the journalist. So these are some of the unethical, illegal behaviors. Stealing the copyrights, misuse of research material. Already I told you in the defense organizations. Stealing the credit information, deliberately giving the public wrong information. See this figure, he is the news reader, he has to give the correct information only, but he is under the control of some other person, just like a puppet show. Okay, so this is an unethical concept. With that, the trust, previous. So with this, the trust will be loosed. Next slide. So case studies of unethical broadcasting violations. India Today group was accused of publishing the biased and sensationalized news articles, contributing to the spread of the misinformation. Similarly, Times Now case, G News case, these are some of the unethical broadcast violations. Next. Now, what are the relevant acts and regulations related to this unethical practice? So, the Indian Telegraph Act 1885, this act governs the telecommunications including the broadcasting. Next act is Cable Television Networks Act 1995. The Information Technology Act 2000, it was instituted in the 2000, and similarly the Press Council of India. So these are the various acts and regulations which monitors the activities of the broadcasting, and they will take the necessary actions for unethical practice. And what are the punishments? Punishments, fines and penalties. So fines, license suspension. Sometimes if very severe consequences occur, then definitely the license will be suspended. Imprisonment also. This is financial penalties, legal battles. See, impact on the broadcasting industry under unethical practice. The last point is audience dissatisfaction. Audience dissatisfaction, that is, audience may turn away from the unethical channels. They don't want to watch those kind of unethical channels. Next one, enforcement mechanisms and regulatory bodies. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, they are responsible for formulating the policies, issuing the proper guidelines in the broadcasting sector, ensuring with proper regulations. Similarly, the Telecom Regulatory Authority. So this TRAI also including the broadcasting, and they addresses concerns related to the content, spectrum allocation and technical standards. So next slide. Okay, see, media literacy programs. First of all, the public should be educated properly. Educating the public. Similarly, some skill development programs to identify the bias. What is good, what is the wrong news. So to identify that, some skills are to be developed. Similarly, community initiatives. So this is the final conclusion. So we have discussed ethics, broadcasting, and what are the ethics in the broadcasting. Suppose if the ethics ethics are not following, what are the unethical practices, and what is the society impact on the society, what are the consequences, what are the acts, rules and regulations, punishments, okay, because the broadcasting plays a vital role on the society. So that's why more ethics to be followed. Thank you.